Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech, and we're going to talk about the top 10 best Wear OS apps here in 2018 for Wear OS. And I have the Huawei Watch 2 here, which you could check out the review on the State of Tech here. I did a review of this watch, so if you're interested, definitely check that out. But it's interesting because Wear watches or Wear OS watches have native app support, and so it's interesting to see what is available and how it works on a watch like this. So we're going to talk about 10 apps that are just usable. I mean, there's a lot of apps that are out there. Not all of them are really usable. A lot of times they end up being kind of like some sort of a control for the app that's on your phone, which to me just isn't as useful as an app being standalone. So the first app we're going to take a look at is Find My Parked Car. This app makes it really easy for you to find where you parked. When you launch the app, you just simply tap Park Here, and it's going to allow you to see where you parked. Of course, I've already done that, so it's showing me a Google Earth image, which is fantastic, and I can kind of zoom around on that. I can tap over here to have it kind of retriangulate my location. I can zoom in and out. I can unpark when I'm done parking in this location and I found my vehicle again. So I'll go ahead and delete parking location just by tapping on the check mark there. Then of course I can repark when I'm ready. I have some basic settings, change my map type and navigation, add a note, view the photo of this photo here. Basically, it can take a snapshot. So pretty cool. This app is definitely extremely useful, especially if you are parking in a lot of different places and need to remember where you parked. It's a great one for traveling. App number 2 is called Wearcasts. Wearcasts is for those of you that enjoy listening to podcasts. There are a lot of podcast apps, and there are actually apps that look better than this app, but the problem is that none of them are standalone. Wearcasts is a standalone app for your Wear OS watch, and you can listen to podcasts right from the watch, which is great if you have Bluetooth headphones connected to your watch. Then you can listen to them through the Bluetooth headphones, or of course you can listen to it through the speaker here on the watch as well. So it makes it easier if you install the app on your phone so that you can add podcasts to this. And then it is a little bit tricky to get podcasts in. If it isn't in kind of the top 10 list, you're going to need the URL to that podcast and everything, which isn't necessarily a big problem. It just takes a little bit more time to use than maybe some of the other podcast apps, but it is one of the only apps that will function standalone. So once you add some podcasts, you subscribe to some podcasts within the app, then they're all here and they're going to use your Wi-Fi that your phone is providing, unless you have an LTE enabled watch, which this one is not. So there we go. And then of course you can fast forward 30 seconds or go back 30 seconds. It gives you kind of the show notes or whatever. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can actually download this particular episode. And so it's going to give you a suggestion to disable Bluetooth and hit OK. And then you can actually download that and listen to it later, even on a watch that isn't connected to anything else. Leave your phone at home, Bluetooth headphones, listening to podcasts while you're out running or exercising or doing whatever you want. Fantastic. All right, so number 3 is Google Fit. What I like about the Google Fit app is that it comes on every single Wear OS device. And what I like about that is that your Google Fit, all of your fitness data is going to be saved within the Google Fit app instead of being saved within random apps from different manufacturers. For example, if I'm using this Huawei watch and I'm using the Huawei fitness tracker and not using Google Fit, all of my fitness data is going to be saved in the Huawei app, health app, instead of Google Fit. Now, hopefully that app syncs over everything to Google Fit, and some stuff does just by default, like your steps and some of your basic activity tracking is going to be synced over. But I like the Google Fit app because it becomes that one standard place. I like having that consistent data. I don't want to have some of my data maybe over at Samsung, some of my data at LG, some of my data at Huawei, and then having huge gaps in between. For the basic fitness data, I want to have all of that available. So if I go into my Google Fit app, I can see my goals for each of my days. I can scroll down and see my activity for that day. I can add goals. I can see what kind of a broader view of today. Obviously, it's very early on in the day here. I can see my workouts. I can start a workout just by tapping right here and select from one of those workouts and get going. And it's going to use your watch, and so maybe if your watch has better GPS than others, it might be a little bit more accurate. There is also a workout app that you can jump right into as well. Strength training, challenges, other workouts, all of those things are fantastic features of the Google Fit app. And what's nice about it is it's consistent across all the different Wear OS watches. Yes, some of these watch manufacturers have more integrated. For example, with the Huawei watch here, there is a bit more integrated, and I think it's a little bit better of an experience because of getting your heart rate tracking and all of that stuff, and the sleep tracking. I like all of that. I just know that if I decide to get another watch, that other watch isn't likely going to work with the Huawei app unless it's a Huawei watch. So I like to kind of keep my data in a place that is kind of cross-device compatible. Number 4 is Uber. Now, Uber isn't extremely useful on the smartwatch, but it does get you into a car in a pinch. Now, if you, for example, are getting off an airplane and needing to grab an Uber really quick, you just want to quickly launch and get into a vehicle quickly, setting up your pickup is extremely easy. I found that actually setting a destination is a little bit more challenging. You have to know the exact address. Doing a search for the specific location doesn't work as well as it does when you're using your phone. But when you need to get to it quick, you can definitely do that. So just by simply setting your pickup, if you need to re-triangulate your location, click on the little icon over on the left, set your pickup right here. Tell it where you want to go. You can have some preset locations in there and add in new addresses. So if they're common addresses that you're traveling to, that's actually a good option. If it's new addresses that you're traveling to, it's best to have that pre-set up in the app. Of course, if you know the address, you can use speech to record in that address and have it auto-populate. So Uber does work pretty well. It's just in some circumstances, it might be better to go to your phone. But in a pinch, when you don't have your phone on you, you can definitely use it on the watch, and it does work, and it's a decent experience. Number 5 is AccuWeather. Having good weather is important. Some of these watches have gotten really good with weather. Of course, the default Wear OS app is pretty good as well. But I've always liked AccuWeather. So we'll go ahead and tap on AccuWeather, and it's going to pull up the weather for my local location. It also allows me to go and get weather for other locations. So as I scroll up here, I can now see the hour-by-hour forecast, which is great, just by actually scrolling side to side. Scrolling up allows me to change my location and change my time, date, and some other settings here. Scrolling down from the top lets me change from hourly over to what's now, so I can see the exact now time. Scrolling down allows me to see between some different like now, hourly, daily, and open on phone, so I can see daily. It just kind of makes it a little easier for me to travel between some of those. It just makes it easy for me to kind of swipe between those and get accurate weather as I need it. I like that. I like having those features there. AccuWeather's just always been good, and it's been really accurate. Number 6 is Robinhood. Now, I use Robinhood for buying and selling stocks in the stock market. I use Robinhood because it doesn't charge any fees, and I get to buy and sell stocks whenever I want, as long as the stock market is open and trading. I love the app on the watch because I can see kind of how things are going. As you can see, the stock market just got hit pretty hard the last 2 days, and so I lost 4.5% yesterday, but nonetheless, still doing pretty good overall. But I like being able to see that from my watch so that I can kind of get updates and be kept up to date without going into my phone and just seeing how the stock market is doing. It's quick and easy to do, and on some watches there is a complication so that you can see maybe from your watch face how things are going. I haven't found one that really looks good and works good on this Huawei watch though. So number 7 is Google Play Music. Google Play Music comes on pretty much every Android watch, which is great, or every Wear OS watch. And what's unique about this is that it allows you to actually play and listen to music on the watch, whether it be through the watch's speaker or headphones that you have Bluetooth connected to the watch. Apps like Spotify do a good job of letting you control music on other devices, but it's nice to be able to listen to music without having to use those other devices. So when you are connected here, you can see I've got my playlists. If you haven't used Play Music before, this is probably going to look fairly basic. And so the more you use Play Music on your phone or your other devices, the better this experience is going to be as well. Now I can play music directly from my watch. So if I go and tap Recent Activity, I can see all of the different playlists or different music stations that I've listened to. It's going to give me some recommendations also. I can choose music for fitness, or I could browse anything that is in my library, which is great. So I also have playlists there, radio stations, artists and stuff that I've synced over or saved in my library, and those are all easily manageable on your phone or your tablet. So what's great about this is that if I tap on play, it's actually going to ask me whether I want to play it through some Bluetooth headphones or through the speaker on the watch. If your watch doesn't have a speaker, it's obviously only really going to work well with Bluetooth. You could download music to the watch because this is a Wi-Fi only watch. So if it's not connected to my phone, it has no internet connection, and so I can't stream. So I would need to download some music to the watch, which is a fantastic feature. So Play Music, it's been a great app. It works well, especially if you're at the gym and you don't want to carry your phone. You just save some music to your watch and you're able to listen to it right there, or even connect to the Wi-Fi of the gym that you go to or something like that. Number 8 is a game called Ronativity. I absolutely love this game because it's something that's just easy to jump in and out of and play when I have some spare time. So I'm going to go ahead and tap to play, and the idea here is to avoid hitting the other balls. So you just tap to kind of move between the two lanes. Yeah, that was a fail. So you tap to move between the two lanes to avoid the other balls and try to make as many points as you can. I guess even rotations. The thing that's kind of annoying is that it doesn't really give you a way. Oh boy, I knew I was going to fail. It doesn't save your high score or anything like that. I think maybe that would be nice if they would add something like that in. So you kind of have to remember your high score. But nonetheless, it's still a fun game to play just when you have a little bit of spare time and you want something to kind of take your mind off of things. I absolutely love it. It's just a fun little game. Now, number 9 is a game called Cosmo Run. And it takes a little bit of time for this game to load up because it is kind of an intense game, but it's a lot of fun to play. So I'm going to go ahead and hit try again here. I've been playing this game today. Hit tap to play. And you simply tap to have it change direction. So I'm going to hit try again. It's very tricky. It's a lot of fun though. So if I wanted to save, have it go back and let me play from where it fell off, I could hit save me. It costs 100 stars. You're able to collect stars and get more stars as you play the game, so you're rewarded for playing the game more. It saves your high score. You can see my best is 23. Let's try this one more time. Ah, 25. I made a new high score. So this game is loads of fun. It's definitely kind of loud, but it's an awful lot of fun. It's one of the best games I think that are available for Wear OS right now. So the last thing is fairly basic, but it is having a calculator on your watch. I'll tell you what, there are many times I've just wanted to simply calculate something, and not having a calculator on my watch definitely is kind of a hindrance. Some of the watches come with calculators on them, but it's nice to be able to have a little calculator for doing any calculations that you need to at the time. And so it's great to have a calculator on here just for those instances where you need a calculator. So that's going to do it for the 10 best Wear OS apps that you can get right now. I hope that you liked this video. It was a little long, but I definitely wanted to give you a preview of these 10 different different apps. Let me know what you think. Is there a Wear OS app that I missed? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel here if you enjoyed it. Check out the link below to stateoftech.net where we have the post here. I've got links to all these apps so that you could download them and check them out. Let me know also what Wear OS device you're using. I'd love to know that down in the comment section below. I hope to see all of you back here soon on State of Tech. Take care.